Hello, welcome to another episode of SSTJ. We about it, because we the best.
All I do is win.
Today's episode, we're talking about how to build a Japanese environment and how to gain more of a feel of the language. And what I mean by feel, I mean as in to become more natural, to have more of a way of connecting with the language, and a way of more connecting with people, and a way of this like always improving. If you're not improving, you're losing. One of the biggest things that Japan has and Japanese culture has is media. Japanese media. They have movies, they have television shows, anime, all of that. Dramas. I used to watch a lot of dramas in the past, and the thing that happens when you watch a lot of Japanese media, you get accustomed to some things. Because remember, people are habit orientated. People go by habits, and you want to build good habits. Just think about it. If you're put in a group of people that were only talking about basketball, everybody's talking about basketball, everybody's talking about the league, everybody's talking about say like a video game, say League of Legends, everybody's talking about League of Legends. The people that you're in your group are talking about League of Legends. The environment that you're in is surrounded by that one thing. So what do? You start thinking about that one thing over and over again, and you get accustomed to it because it's a habit that you're creating. And other people are participating, so it makes it even feel better to be in that habit. For me, I wasn't very fortunate to have that environment, so I created my own environment. And the way I created my own environment is actually watching things online like anime, and I watched dramas, and I would listen to a lot of J-pop and J-rock. I would immerse myself into this culture and just make it a part of me. One of the main things that I've learned and what I've gained experience on is mimicry. Mimicry is, you're copying a behavior or a way someone speaks or a way they act, right? So when I watch drama, or when I go and meet other people who are, Japanese, I would copy the mimicry of how they do things, how they conduct themselves, if that makes any sense. And amazingly enough, you build your own version of how you want to speak, how you want to conduct yourself, how you want to behave in other words. And I catch myself, funny enough, doing Japanese mannerisms sometimes when I start speaking to a Japanese person. It's very interesting, and I think everybody will reach that point at some point. There is one person I always used to copy. His name is Tomio Nagase, and I think he's part of Arashi. And he's such an amazing, interesting person that I just got addicted to the way he conducts himself. And I don't know if any of you watch Ikibuka to Westgate Park. This is the most amazing drama I've ever seen. It was so well done. The story is immaculate, amazing. And I have some other recommendations that I'll tell you in the description below. But yeah, Tomio Nagase was one of the biggest characters that I'd always imitate, or I try to even get his voice down right, or try to get his behavior hasms right. The way he would tell a joke and the way he would do rakugo. Rakugo is basically telling a story. I loved how he did it, and I always would want to make my own version. So I'd watch him and I would make my own version of what rakugo I would make. And if you look back in some of my old videos, you probably see me making a lot of jokes and a lot of storytelling of what happened in my life, and I put it on a video. Okay, so one of the things that I see that most people do, and they watch anime and they copy what the animation is doing, which is not really a person. The anime Goku is not really a person, guys. Piccolo is not really a person. Luffy is not really a person. There's a voice actor for Luffy, there's a voice actor for Goku, alright? And you can copy the way they say some things, but I wouldn't use that in real life, because those are fictional characters. So what I would recommend is to watch some dramas. Watch dramas of actual people talking. You can see the way they use their mouth, you can see how they behave to other people, see how they communicate to other people, and get the common things that you you get when you talk to a person. So like, for instance, you talk to a person and then they shrug their shoulders, and like those kind of mannerisms, like try to look through the mannerisms and see what is suitable for which situation. So what I'm trying to say is basically understand the body language of when you're talking to another person, when you're talking to a Japanese person, what kind of cultural mannerisms that they have, and just have a grasp of it. Have a grasp of which scenario, which situation. Because in dramas, there's different stories that are told. There's, you know, like fantasy, adventure, you know, detective, murder cases, that all those stuff. Like there's a scenario for each thing that you can learn about. So dramas, I highly recommend. And I will tell you some in the description below. Well, that was another episode of SSTJ. Really good stuff we covered here. Went over mannerisms, went over body language, went over how to have a good environment in Japanese, how to keep thinking about you know, Japanese subjects, like just keeping your mind in the whole Japanese world. So if you like the video, you have something to talk about, or you want to say to me, say for the comments or say through Twitter. I'm always on Twitter. And yeah, just happy studying. And thanks for watching, guys. この番組はご覧のスポンサーの提供でお送りします。